Hi, this is Dr. Dave. Now that we have the work for finding the break-even points, we need to put that work as a reply to the post that we took the formulas from in the first place. What you see here is a discussion board, and we're going to reply to a post inside of this discussion board. So let me click on the thread. We're going to reply to this post right here. And to do that, I'm just going to come down and click where it says Reply. This is going to open up a window where we can put our work in. And the key thing about putting our work in is we need to use this button right here which says Insert Math Equation. So I'm going to start out by saying to find the break-even points, set. So now I need to put in the formula for the revenue function. Now, as our formulas get more complicated, we're going to need to put in things like powers and subscripts, all sorts of stuff. And that's what this button is perfect for doing. So I'm going to click on it, and it gives me a window here. And now I'm going to type R of X equals negative 0.05x. And now I need to do a power. And another way of doing a power is saying it's a superscript. If we look up here, there's a button that says soup on it. I'm going to click on that, and now I can type 2. So now I've got my power of 2 in there. If I continue typing, I'm going to be typing up inside of that power. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a right arrow to get out of that power, and now I'm going to type plus 50x. So now I have my formula. I tell it to insert, and it goes ahead and puts it into my post. Let's look at that carefully. If there's ever a time where you found there's a mistake in that, you could go ahead and click on the equation, click on the button, and it'll allow you to go ahead and edit that. So this looks pretty good, so I'm just going to say insert again, and we're good. So we have to find the break-even points, set that formula equal to, and now let's put in our cost function. So I'll click on the button, C of X equals 11x plus 1,000. So there I have it. I can continue to do this to show all the work that I had in the previous picture that you saw. So let's go ahead and do some of that work. I'm going to come down here below, and I'm going to center this, and now I'm going to show those two formulas set equal. So I'll click on my equation, and now I'm going to type in those two formulas set equal. Remember, to get to the power, I have to use the soup, use the arrow to get out of it, and then say plus 50x equals 11x plus 1,000. Say insert, and that puts it into our post. Now remember, to be able to solve that, we have to put all the variables over on one side. So that means we had to subtract 11x and subtract 1,000 from both sides. So I'm going to put that into the next line. Enter. I'm going to align it left. So I'm going to say subtract 11x and subtract 1,000 from both sides to give, and now I'm going to put in the equation here. So I'm going to hit enter to go down to the next line. I'm going to center it, and now let's go ahead and put in what we get when we carry out that work. So insert math equation, click in my box, I'll have negative 0.05x. I'll use my soup to put the 2 in, right arrow to get out of the power. It's going to be plus 39x, and then minus 1,000 equals 0. Click Insert, and that puts it into my post. So now I'm going to tell it how I'm going to go about solving that equation. So to solve the quadratic equation, comma, use the quadratic formula. And I'm going to go ahead and put the quadratic formula right here on that same line. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the equation. And now I need to do the quadratic formula, which is fairly complicated. So I'm going to type x equals, and remember the quadratic formula is a fraction. So there's a button up here to do fractions. And in the top of it, I'm going to put minus b. Now I need to find the plus or minus, which I see right here in another button. I'm going to do square root b, do a superscript, squared, use the right arrow to get out of that, minus 4ac. That's the top part of my quadratic formula. Go down to the bottom part, it's just 2a. Click Insert, and there's my quadratic formula. So now I'll go down and tell it set insert equation a equals negative 0.05, comma, and now I'm going to go up and put in another equation, b equals 39, insert the equation, comma, and insert c equals negative 1,000. Now let me go down to the next line and let me actually do that in my equation. So I'm going to center. I'm going to hit my button there, click in the window, and I'll say x equals. So I'm going to type in the quadratic formula, but with the numbers inside of it. So fraction. So minus b is going to be negative 39 plus or minus square root. Now we're going to have 39 squared. So sup, the power, use the arrow to get out of it, minus 4. And now I need to figure out how I want to do this multiplication. There is a times right here, or a star we could use. I'm going to use the times. The a was negative 0.05 times negative 1,000. Click down below, and I'm going to say 2 times negative 0.05. So that looks pretty good. I could also, instead of the time sign, have used parentheses in here, but I just chose to use the time sign. And now I want to say that that's approximately equal to the numbers that I got. So now I need to find that approximately equals. So look through some of the different menus here. There's a menu for Greek, for operators, for relationships. And when we go to those relationships, I can see right here is an approximately equal. So I'll click on that and then type in what I got out of my calculator, 26.54, comma, 753.46. So there I have my numbers now. Click Insert Equation, and it puts it in there. So now we have the steps for solving this, right? And it's going to be as a reply to where I got all the numbers. Click on Post Reply, and you'll be able to see exactly that. There are the points, and there's the work to actually solve it. So once you've done that, you've completed this assignment. Make sure you reply to the one you took your numbers out of, and if you do that, you'll be in pretty good shape.